This is a mature Echeveria Pearl von Nunberg, or PVN, which has grown 3 flower stalks. We will trim the stalks today, and we will also find out if we can do propagation of those leaves in the stalks. Hi guys, this is Leslie again of Succulent Social. Today in the garden we have this beautiful Echeveria Pearl von Nunberg, or PVN, and we have this for about 1.5 years now. It's quite big, it's mature, it's beautiful, and it has these 3 tall, towering flower stalks already. And we wanted to keep it this way. However, I feel that the main mother plant has started to have a lot of dry leaves at the bottom and shrink a bit. This is how it looked when it just had one stalk. So I feel that somehow the energy of the mother plant has been concentrating on the growth of the flowers. And this is common for mother plants when they bloom. You will start to notice that lower leaves will dry and eventually fall off. And they say it's the plant's way of putting its energy towards the bloom. The shape is also off. The rosette form will not be as perfect anymore as it gives way. It gives way to the stalks growing from the side. This one is also slanting on one side, so I don't know if it's the weight of these 3 stalks, but I definitely know for sure that it's not the sun, because this PVN is placed right smack in the middle where it gets full sun. So anyway, I think it's about time to remove the stalks. We have some questions before asking, like what to do with the flowers when their succulents bloom. Should they cut it or leave it? If they cut the blooms, do they just discard it, or can they do something about it? Well, okay, let me just first remove this first flower. I don't even need my scissors. I can just pull it off gently here. And then we will remove all of these leaves in the stalk. And yeah, you guess it right. We will propagate them. So that will be a lot of flowers for propagation, a lot of leaves for propagation. And I decided to use 2 mediums on where to propagate them, just for us to see where they will grow best and faster. I have a box where they will just sort of air dry and hopefully get pops, and then I have some fast draining soil here. Just to let you know as well that now is the last month of autumn where we are located in Melbourne, and we're heading towards our winter. So echeverias, as you know, are dormant during the cold season. So just in case, I'm prepared that they will not propagate as fast. However, that's okay. I just really want to remove this stalk before they ruin the shape of the huge PBN. So all we need to do now is just to remove the leaves, and as we do that, you just have to make sure that you do a clean cut of the full leaves for a great success in propagation. And that is easy with this PVN because they easily snap off. Okay, so as I do that, let me just go back to the question of what to do when your succulents flowers. Well, for us, and this is based on our experience and perhaps the environment where our plants grow, when our succulents bloom, we appreciate them for a while, take photos, maybe for Instagram, and then we do the therapeutic task of cutting them off. Various reasons. One, you want the succulents to concentrate on its growth and not on the flowers. 2, the flowers kinds of ruin the rosette shape, as I mentioned earlier, of the main plant. And 3, flowers are haven for mealybugs, so we just cut them off before we invite infestation in the whole garden. And also when we cut them, some varieties have leaves on their flower stalk, like this one. And although they are not mature leaves yet, they can also be propagated. And we had a good success with them in the past. So now I am just basically going to show you how we propagate and that it can be done. Yeah. So let's just lay down some of this here so we can propagate them. Okay, now moving on to the second stalk. Let me just remove some of the dried leaves here. It's actually difficult to get it, so let us sacrifice this leaf here and remove it. Just a little wiggle. There you go. And now we can remove the stalk. Oh, look at that. They are so pretty. Look at the colors. So good. Beautiful. Yes. And then of course this leaf that we remove will now be part of the propagation group. So as I remove the leaves, you can see my fingerprints all over them as I'm scratching off with my hands the farina, which is like the powdery thing on top of the leaves. It is like the succulent's natural sunscreen slash waterproofing slash bug lotion, because it protects them from sun, from water, as the water just slides off the farina, and also from pests. That's why we should be careful not to rub the farina off when we're touching our succulents, but it doesn't bother me now as I'm just going to propagate these leaves anyway. So we are now on our third flower stalks. We just continue removing these leaves, and oh, look at that. We've got a friend there. Shoo. So once we have completed removing these leaves, we just set them aside. Make sure they're away from direct sun. Also, we let them callus first, and then we enter the super exciting and patience challenging period of waiting for pups to come out. And I think the best way to go through that phase is just to get yourself busy with other things in the garden instead of daily checking if there are pups, because it used to drive me nuts. And then eventually, once the roots are showing or pups are showing, that is the time that we miss them. And until then, the mother leaf will have enough water stored for the growth of the pups. Now, going back to the main plant, the main rosette, I will also repot this one because it has been in this soil for quite a while, for maybe 1.5 years now. Oops, we have a little baby plant there. And at that point, we were still using a different kind of soil mix. We were happy at that point, but I think it's due time to change it. So I'll be putting her in this terracotta. As you know, terracottas are, well, succulents love them because of their porous material. So with the water not just draining from the drainage hole, they also kind of evaporates through the whole surface of the pot, so they don't get soaked. These beautiful roots don't get soaked in moisture or moist soil for too long, which is exactly what they want. But of course, you will find yourself that during summer you just have to water them more frequently because it dries out fairly quick. So we just put a little bit of soil at the base, and then we just put the whole thing in, and then we just cover them all up with soil. I am gonna plant it with a bit of stem up, because if you remember, we have a tiny pup in the stem and I want it to grow there for a while. So that's why my stem is a little bit high up. And yeah, we just secure them, make sure that it's stable, it's secure, it's properly anchored in the new pot. And here we go. That's how it looks. I will also be adding a little bit of river pebbles into it. I don't usually add river pebbles, but for the sake of this video, I'll be adding some of them just to show you some options that you can do, just to give it a little bit more of a neat look. And those areas where we took the stalks are still fresh cut, so we added some cinnamon powder to them and just a protection, just as fungicide. And here is our PVN now. Looks so pretty. I feel like the weight of of those stalks have been taken off this main plant. So I hope she will be happy with this new pot, and then she will be joining her gang here. Where shall we put her? Okay, yeah, this is a good spot. We are headed for some cloudy days in the next few days, so this would be a good spot for her. Looks good. There we go. Just a little update with our leaf propagation. It is now a month after, and as you can see, there's not much update happening. The leaves are still intact. We had a very cold end of autumn and beginning of winter, so I think it contributed as to why they're not doing so much, just like sleeping off until, well, maybe until spring. Except for these two who have shown growth. So one was from the box and one was from the soil. So just goes to show that those leaves from the flower stalks can be propagated. So we move them to the rest of the propagating leaves, but the remaining ones, we might have to wait until spring. Patience, Leslie, patience. And if you have any questions, just please drop them in the comment section. I hope you will like this video, and if you haven't done so, kindly subscribe to our channel. We'd love to show you more of our succulent videos. Bye for now. Until next time. Bye.